This is the Morning Drive, and it's time to talk real estate now at Mirror Business FM. Morning to you, and good morning to Ajay Menon, who is the CEO of Luxe Vista Real Estate. Nice to see you.
Good morning, Tim.
Always welcome. Tuesday mornings, 10 o'clock. Good to talk to you. Vastu Shastra, or colloquially known as Vastu, does it increase property value and demand in a global city like Dubai? I wrote this question down because this was not a question that I ever thought I'd ask anybody. I'd never heard of Vastu until yesterday when you sent notes through. I got, what on earth is Vastu?
Okay.
Where do we start with this?
Vastu is quite important, or at least, and let me tell you that it has no religion associated to it. It is an Indian system of architecture and spatial design.
Okay.
It goes all the way 5,000 years back. The principle is very simple.
Right.
It's basically combining your building with the natural forces like your Earth's magnetic field, sunlight, energy inflows and the flow of energy throughout the building.
Right.
So, and when everything is going through in a positive manner, you have a sense of well-being, prosperity. That's generally the concept.
Okay, so see, I'm not a kind of an energy kind of guy. I like to boil things down to things that I understand, but I know exactly what you mean here because I remember it would be 20 odd years ago. I was renting a house in Media City, actually, and I walked in, and I knew the moment I walked in, from walking into the house, the way the house kind of unfolded before me, the flow of the house, the hall into the kitchen, through straight into the garden, and all of that stuff. And I thought, no, I can see myself living here. And it all kind of made sense. So I suppose in a weird kind of way, I was channeling Vastu even 20 years ago without knowing it. Adrian.
Exactly. That's what many people don't understand.
This is what this is, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this is not, I mean, there's tradition in this, I guess, but it's not mysticism or superstition. There is science to this.
100% science.
Right, okay.
Yeah. And then the fact that you mentioned this is basically some houses, when you walk in, you understand there's no light, there's nothing, you don't really like it. And some houses, when you go in, you will really love it.
Yeah.
See, and even, you can see a lot of ads saying, there's a lot of natural sunlight flowing in. This is Vastu. Where does the sun rise? East. So when you have an east-facing entrance, then the morning sunlight comes in, which actually is a great feeling.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And this is the whole alignment of Vastu with your well-being thing.
Gotcha. Okay. So, right. So this is a 5,000-year-old architectural science, and the kind of relationship to where we are now is people are using this to make million dirham dollar, multi-million dirham dollar decisions in real estate.
Definitely. More than people ever care to know, and more than people who actually knows. But
Right.
if you really get into the real estate industry, you will be amazed by the number of people who are asking for Vastu compliant units.
Well, you said before you came in here, because I said to you, I've never heard of this before, and you said, no, it's interesting, and we'll explain it. But in the last 2 days, 2 different people have mentioned this to you.
Correct. And that is the reason why I came up with the subject. I mean, then it's not much talked about publicly.
I mean, it's a science that I've never heard of. So let me just, you sent some notes through here, and I want to just dig into this a little bit. Vastu Shastra is an ancient Indian system of architectural and spatial design. Fine. It's based on the alignment of buildings with natural forces or elements like sunlight, the Earth's magnetic field, airflow, energy movement. So there is science here, and the principle is pretty simple. You're going to have to explain it to me, though, because it's not as simple
the way the entrance is placed, the way your rooms are placed, so the way the energy moves into throughout the building,
kind of steers you through.
Steers you, yeah. So that actually is that is the whole point of Vastu. So everything has to be a positive flow. So there's no barriers in between where the energy gets stuck. So if that happens in a normal flow of things, your life is much more easier. You feel light when you are in that house.
Yeah. Okay. So it's the feeling of, you know, when you walk into a house and you think, oh no, I can see myself here. That feeling of kind of I don't know, it's comfort really more than anything else. I feel at home here, which is good. If you're in a home, that translates to Vastu
Correct.
pretty directly. Right, I've got you. All
So
right, then.
the way the building is built as per Vastu principles, the result is that when you walk into that building, you will feel good,
Yeah,
generally.
okay.
And in a city like Dubai, it is very important because everybody in the world invests, yes. But if you look at the biggest number of investors, they are from India. Almost 22% of the buyers are from India.
Overwhelmingly, I would guess, from India.
And just followed by the British. And even if you dig a little bit more deeper, most of these British are probably of Indian origin. We've seen a lot of Indian origin Britishers buying houses here.
Well, that makes a lot of sense, and I've thought about this, and we've talked about this before. But if you're of Indian origin, British citizen, but of Indian people, then moving back this way, Dubai is kind of the halfway, a little bit more than halfway, but it's a decent kind of, it's a happy medium, isn't it?
Yeah.
I suppose. Okay.
And then obviously for them, it's an important thing.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. So Dubai is a global city, attracts investors from all over the place. What Vastu obviously makes more of a difference than
Definitely. I have seen, I've actually experienced, I've sold a similar villa in the same mustard community. One is a Vastu compliant unit, one is not a Vastu compliant unit. Vastu compliant unit got sold within days. Exactly the same. The price was the same. The master community was the same. The developer was the same. But just that one unit is Vastu compliant and one not.
So Vastu doesn't do anything for the price.
No. It does in some places. Yeah,
in some places, I guess it might do. But what it certainly would do would aid in the selling process to a particular buyer.
See, even if you, when I really went deep into it, I understood that if you look at most of the Imar properties, your Nakil properties, most of the villa communities are Vastu compliant. At least about 70-80% of the units are Vastu compliant. But they don't market it like that because obviously they've got other units which is not Vastu compliant. They need to sell that as well. Right?
Okay.
So, but if you really look at it, because they have the data, they know who the buyers are. They know people are, most of the Indians are asking for Vastu compliant units. So definitely they will, if at all they can, they will create more Vastu compliant units than less. It is easier for them to do that in a master community, in a villa community. But if you're building it's a building, obviously there will be 8 apartments in a floor. You cannot have everything Vastu compliant. So there will be few which is Vastu, which is not Vastu. So they cannot market it.
So if you're north facing, you're not Vastu compliant.
No. There's a lot more deeper into it. It's not just about north or northeast or something like that. There is more to Vastu actually.
Wow, it's fascinating. How come I've never heard of this before in my life?
You've been ignorant, Tim.
I could have told you that. I fell in that one, didn't I? Yeah. That's a good point. So Vastu compliance is a thing. It's not a marketing term. Is it a marketing term in India?
Yes and no. Yeah, but it's not like some people try to do this. They try to sell its Vastu compliant units. Some brokers also talk about in India. Here also the Indian brokers, when they're talking to Indian clients, it's not even they are marketing it. The clients eventually they will ask, send me the floor plan, send me the whole layout, because they will consult. They are one of their Vastu consultants back in India.
I want to be a Vastu consultant now. How do you get qualified to do that?
Oh, there's real courses for that actually.
There are
courses which take 6 months. It's a certification course. It can go all the way to 3 years to be a fully fledged. You can have even PhD in Vastu, a doctorate in Vastu. This thing, Shastra.
I could be a doctor in Vastu. Oh, hashtag life goals here are emerging, I think. So let's look at some of the important factors that buyers are looking for. And from your notes, there are 4 that matter the most, I think.
Yeah, the 4 key ones, which is more popular amongst everybody. See, if you really go deep, and nobody can really go deep unless you are really into the whole thing. But generally, if 4 points are taken care, it's 70%, 80%. You're good. You're good to go to live in that building. Okay. So one of the most important thing is basically the entrance. Entrance is very popular among everybody. Ideally, we are looking at anything about east, north, northeast.
Okay.
Why? It's also because the east is where the sun rises. So you have a lot of morning light coming in. So the light and the air that comes in, it's actually it gives a good feeling.
Yeah.
So that is, and this, in terms of Indians, that is where wealth comes in, opportunities comes in.
Okay.
So that is the reason these three directions. That is, again, it depends on where you look at. People generally say that you are standing inside the house and looking outwards, not from outside to inwards. Inside the house, looking outwards. Then
Okay.
it should open to either north, northeast, or east. But it is not. If you really look at Vastu, that is not the case. So what normally you're supposed to do is take the whole floor plan, make it a rectangle or a square, draw two intersecting lines, stand right in the middle of the building of that the thing, and then use the compass. That is where then you actually you find out the directions. That should be the real way. But people generally here, they tend to say that just look at the entrance placement and they say, oh, this is good, this is not good. So that is why I said it is not. If you have to really go deep into it, that is not the correct way. But you are 70% you're taking care if you're looking at this one. That doesn't mean that the west is not a bad entrance, south is not a bad entrance. If you look at it, you can have entrances from all angles. But what they do is the total length, they divide it by 8. So if you can come in from not the first one or the second one, third and fourth is kind of okay from all directions.
Got you.
Yeah.
So if you are a real estate agent and you're with somebody who's on their phone and they're holding it very gingerly in the center of the property, they're probably not texting. They're probably using the compass on their phone
Correct.
to work out the ideal Vastu situation. All right, then. So that's the entrance direction. Lots of details in there. The master bedroom, southwest is considered
The best for master.
best.
Yeah, for
Okay.
master bedroom, southwest is the best because that is when you have growth, stability, sense of safety, which is what you expect from a marital relationship.
okay.
So and also you should take very, very care that if nothing else matters, where you place your head while sleeping, you have to keep your head in the south, your legs towards the west.
Right.
It's again very simple. The other way around, never keep the head on the north because then it's the magnetic field of the earth you're affecting with. Your blood has iron in it. So the magnetic field will have an effect on it.
Okay.
And that is the reason why I say you have to keep your head on the south and then leg towards the thing. So it's basically science. There's no mysticism here. The second best option is to keep your head on the east.
Right.
So whatever you do, don't keep your head on the north.
Okay. I'm trying to work out how I'm sleeping at the moment.
Now, even if you don't believe in Vastu, if you don't believe anything else of what I said, try to keep not to keep your head on the north.
No, see, the thing is, I feel like I should be following this. So I'm going to check when I go home. I'll text you later on today. And then tomorrow, if I sleep better, I'll bring you a present or something. Okay, so that's for ideal kind of well-being in terms of sleep, for maximum sleep. I've got you. Okay. What about the other bedrooms, though?
Other bedrooms is not much of an important, but generally in Vastu, they say you should never have a toilet in the northeast corner. That is extremely bad.
Okay.
And I've seen people in the secondary market, they completely knock out the toilet and then because you can have remedies. What will you do if you actually bought a non-compliant unit? But then you actually bring in certified Vastu practitioners. I cannot help you there because I normally help in offline because if I have to suggest remedies, I have to be professionally certified. I'm not professionally certified. I have a decent understanding of it, but I don't have a qualification to say that I can consult professionally.
Sure, but you know what people are talking about and the
yeah.
kinds of things they're looking for, and you can offer opinion at least, or informed opinion.
Plus, if they really come to me on a secondary thing, I actually connect them with because we work with a couple of Vastu guys.
Okay. So I mean, I guess in your profession, if people are asking for it, the least you can do is at least understand and be able to, converse. The next thing of the four things that you bring up as being really important are plot shapes.
Yes, plot shapes is quite important because generally it has to be a rectangle or a square. It's not that irregular plot sizes exist. There is a lot of irregular plot sizes in plot shapes in Dubai. That also can be rectified with landscaping. You don't really when you have a trapezoid kind of a building, try to build the house in a rectangle or a square. The remaining can be made a land part of the landscape.
Okay.
So don't make a house like this or something else.
Skew whiff,
Skew,
my mother
yeah,
used
yeah.
to say. I never really worked out what that meant, but off in some way. And then kitchen placement. Southeast is the right way to go.
Southeast is the way to go, and
Right.
that is quite important because area is considered to be the area of the fire. So the fire and energy that has to align. And if you really look at it from a very scientific point of view, when you have your entrance in the north or the east, the airflow is coming in, it goes to the south and it escapes from there. So there is no chance of smoke coming back into the room.
Okay, so that seems pretty scientific.
It's scientific.
If you follow the logic through there, okay, because if you have cooking energy, heat energy, and you burn something, you want to get rid of the. Okay, I'm with you. So for some people, this is it almost a spiritual practice?
It
Would
is
you
not
say?
spiritual at all. No, absolutely
No?
not. But some people connect it to spirituality, but it's definitely not really spiritual because there is an actual science behind it.
Fair. All right. Okay. Is it? I mean, there are elements of design in this, I suppose, as
Definitely, definitely. Because see, if you really look at traditional Indian houses back in the days, they used to have open centerpiece. There's nothing. There is it's like a courtyard.
well. Right. Right.
I think many other countries also should have that. It's like courtyard, and the house is built all around it.
Right.
Right. And why is that? Because the center of the place is called the earth, the Brahmastan, the main area. Normally, you don't build anything there. So that is where they design the whole thing. So everything is actual science.
And then there's culture in this as well.
There is culture in it.
Tradition.
As well. Yeah, tradition. Because see, what you people cannot understand scientifically, when the elders practice it, they just take it for granted. They don't really think what is the science behind it.
Yeah.
See, for example, I do not know if many people know it. In some of the South Indian houses, they actually draw some colorful things in front of the house. But before drawing, what they do is they actually put turmeric, and turmeric is antiseptic. The whole
Okay.
idea was to keep the bacteria away. To keep the place disinfected.
All right. I'm with you. And you get the color of turmeric.
The
as
color,
well.
the color,
The-
and then
the orange.
they just put some different colors and stuff like that. But that part is traditional. But if you really look at why they are doing it, it's basically the idea was always to disinfect.
Got you. Yeah. Okay. So there is kind of reason behind that. Okay. So potentially, if you follow this kind of Vastu approach and you believe in that, and it can offer you, I suppose, this peace of mind, feeling more positive. You're happier in the home.
And people see, when you are happy, you perform at peak performance, and that's how you make money. So when they say you follow Vastu principles, they say you get rich. Why do you get rich? Because you are in peak condition. And then you operate, you start focusing more on what you are doing, and you get better at your profession. Obviously, that is going to reward you at some stage.
Well, if you're happy at home, you need to be happy at home. And if you're happy at home, then that's a pretty good basis for existence, isn't it? Let's face it. So that's perfectly logical. I need to bring in feng shui here because this is kind of the Chinese system of arranging spaces and ensuring energy flow. So there are parallels, aren't there? And it's all about feng shui is about a balanced and a prosperous life. So there are lots of similarities here. So if Vastu is like an ancient Indian kind of architectural wisdom, feng shui is kind of the Chinese counterpart in a way, isn't it?
That is correct.
Similarities?
Yes, in Chinese feng shui, there isn't much of an architectural element in it.
Right.
Right, and it's all about the directions. It's all about, they can have a lot of remedies in it. You don't really have to knock down the building. You don't have to really do much with your existing structure of the building.
Gotcha.
There are some lucky aspects they have. It's more of a mysticism than an actual science. That is, in my opinion. Because again, I don't know much about feng shui. But obviously, I am talking to a lot of Chinese investors, Singaporean investors also. So they are very, very into feng shui.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
All right, then. So, final question, because we're a little bit short on time. I feel like I've learned something, so I appreciate it. How does it matter to investors and home buyers in general, in your experience, Vastu.
Yeah, see, my advice is basically when you're investing in a unit, even if you don't believe in it, even if you're from another culture, the better play is to buy a Vastu compliant unit, because at some stage when you want to exit, you are going to be selling it to an Indian or somebody of Indian origin. I'm talking about 1 out of every 3 potential buyers might be somebody who's looking for
And
Vastu.
it will add to the sales
will add to the
process.
sales process.
Yeah. Whether it adds to the price or not is another matter, but it will add to the ease of perhaps selling
Definitely.
a property. Okay. There you are. Vastu Shastra. I'd never heard of it before. I feel fairly informed now, and I appreciate it. Ajay Menon is the CEO of Luxe Vista Real Estate. You're away next week, aren't you?
Yeah.
We'll miss you next week, but see you in a couple of weeks' time. But for now, appreciate you coming in, Ajay. Nice to see you.
Thank you, Tim.
Good. Mirror Business FM.